You probably think humans tamed wolves. But the more you look at the evidence, the more it looks like the wolves ran this negotiation from the start, and were still living inside the deal they made. Picture a hunting band somewhere in Eurasia, maybe 30,000 years ago. They've killed something too big to eat before it spoils a bison, a horse. Bones and fat get left behind at the edge of camp. Every night, eyes appear in the dark past the firelight, and they don't leave. Those eyes belong to wolves, not tame ones, not friendly ones. Just wolves that were slightly less afraid of humans than the rest of their pack, and slightly more willing to hang around a free meal. That's it. That tiny difference in nerve is where this whole story starts. Here's the wait what. Humans didn't go out and adopt wolf pups. Biologist Raymond Coppinger argued the opposite happened. The boldest, calmest wolves self-selected by choosing to live near human trash and kill sites. Fearful wolves stayed away and kept their wild diet. Bold wolves ate easier, bred more, and passed that boldness down. Humans weren't the ones running the breeding program. The wolves were running it on themselves, using us as the resource. Genetic studies estimate dogs split off from wolves somewhere between 20,000 and 40,000 years ago. A window wide enough to argue about, but old enough to mean this wasn't a quick trick. It was thousands of years of wolves quietly editing their own species around one variable: human tolerance. Now here's where it gets stranger. A Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev ran an experiment starting in 1959 that wasn't even about dogs. He bred silver foxes, selecting only for one trait: calmness around people. Nothing about appearance, just temperament. Within a handful of generations, without anyone selecting for it, the foxes started showing floppy ears, curled tails, and patchy coats, traits nobody bred for on purpose. That's called domestication syndrome. And it's the same package of physical traits you see in dogs, in pigs, in cows. Selecting for tameness apparently drags a whole suite of changes along with it, tied to how neural crest cells develop in the embryo. Which means the floppiness, the puppy eyes, the whole good boy package, that might be a side effect of an evolutionary shortcut, not something we designed. So if humans weren't the architects here, what were we? Mostly a food source and a warm perimeter. But somewhere in that arrangement, wolves found something even more valuable than scraps: our attention. And that's where the story stops being about food and starts being about your nervous system. In 2015, researchers led by Takefumi Kikusui and Miho Nagasawa published a study testing something simple. They had dog owners and their dogs stare into each other's eyes for a few minutes, then measured hormone levels. Oxytocin, the same hormone that spikes when a mother looks at her newborn, rose in both the human and the dog. Wolves raised by humans, tested the same way, showed no such spike. Dogs, somewhere in that 20,000 plus year stretch, evolved a biological hack that lets them plug directly into the same bonding circuitry your body uses for your own children. Not a metaphor, the actual hormone. Your dog's stare is quietly triggering the same chemical response evolution built for keeping you attached to a baby that can't survive without you. Wait, what? A different species figured out how to trigger your parental bonding system, on purpose or not, and it worked so well that it became one of the most successful survival strategies any animal has ever run. There are more domestic dogs alive today than wolves, foxes, and coyotes combined. Losing your wildness turned out to be a better bet than keeping it, as long as you could make a human love you. There's also the older, physical side of this arrangement. Wolves that traveled with human groups gave those groups something humans didn't have. A nose that could smell prey from a distance no person could match. And ears that caught danger long before human senses would. Some researchers, including anthropologist Pat Shipman, have argued that human-wolf cooperation may have given Homo sapiens a hunting and defense edge over Neanderthals during the period both species overlapped in Europe. If that's even partly right, then a wolf choosing to sit at the edge of a human campfire 30,000 years ago may have changed which human species is even here to watch this video. Which brings this back to your living room tonight. That dog waiting by the door when you get home isn't performing gratitude for being fed and housed. It's running a 20,000-year-old strategy that outcompeted every other option a wild canine ever tried. And it's still working on you exactly like it worked on someone hunting mammoths. You didn't domesticate an animal. An animal found the one species on Earth soft enough to hijack. And it has been quietly steering that relationship since before agriculture, before cities, before writing. It just learned, a long time ago, that the fastest way to survive next to a dangerous, unpredictable primate was to make that primate fall in love with it. And it never stopped doing that. Because it never had to.